Hey everyone at GLF and welcome for another podcast. As always, I'm your host JR, and with me is my executive administrator, Eximius Sorrell.
Welcome, guys, to episode 4.
And yeah, we've got a really special guest speaker with us today. He's collaborated with Hitoshi Sakimoto to bring us some of the best work for the Valkyria Chronicles franchise, which is the piano pieces. I'd like to warmly welcome Casey Ormond. Hey Casey, how
Hello.
you doing?
Good to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you. I mean, this is actually a big privilege for us with someone who's actually collaborated with Hitoshi Sakimoto. I mean,
Great
I'm
man.
really a big fan of his work as well.
Mm.
Like, how did you two meet exactly? Like, like,
Um,
could you just give us a
it
brief
was.
story just about how this all happened? Like with piano pieces. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful work.
Oh, thank you. It was kind of like an overnight thing, kind of miraculous. Like I'd worked on doing piano stuff for Sakimoto's work just on a YouTube channel. I started off with the FF12 soundtrack because they haven't made a piano collection CD of that, so I thought, oh, well, I'll just have a go at this, and I made some tracks of the Sky City of Bajurba and Erowit Village. And for me, that project was just like, oh, this is just for me and other fans. And I got a good response from people online. And then I was, pimping out the link everywhere I could, saying, oh, check this out, check this out. I put it on Square Enix Music Online. And there's people working there that collaborate and interview game music composers all the time. And this guy, Don Kotowski, just sent my link of my song from FF12 to Sakimoto's Twitter account. And then I woke up the next morning and Sakimoto had listened to it and he'd sent me a private message and it really did just kind of happen overnight. He was just like, he loved the work that I did and that's sort of how we met. We just kind of happened overnight like that.
Wow. Uh,
Yeah, it
Wow,
was
that
I,
kind
I,
is.
of.
I gotta ask, I haven't really heard all of your works, but exactly how many soundtracks have you did for video games? Like, how many series have you done for pianos in general?
uh, Officially only this one, only Valkyria.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, I mean, I really am just sort of like a fan that was kind of elevated to
Right.
this project.
Okay.
I got to meet Sakamoto in July. He was in Sydney to record a soundtrack. And yeah, I met him there, and then we talked about what we might do. And Valkyria Chronicles was the best choice because Base Escape owns all the rights to that. With Final Fantasy, it's a bit trickier because they're very guarded about that property. But yeah, he said, "Why don't you work on Valkyria Chronicles?" And yeah, that was basically what I did the start of this year for 2 months. I just had to write and record, and it was pretty scary. But the sort of the pressure of it kind of got me through it. Like I had to do it well, especially since I was working with like a one of my dream role models.
Wow.
Wow, that is. That is.
Yeah,
That's
that's
amazing
that's
story,
amazing.
actually.
It's one heck of an opportunity. I wouldn't turn it down
Yeah,
at all.
I still feel really lucky.
Yeah, for me it's actually quite surprising because when the GLF was actually starting just like starting often like we promote stuff coming from the franchise,
Mm.
and when I heard about your music from Eximius, and then I was just like I'm looking around, we often like promote your music on our page, and then
Oh,
I was
yes.
just checking around on
Mhm.
his Twitter page, just looking at his details, and then I actually found out and he was actually a Perth resident. I was like, wow, this is actually a pretty small world. And
There's a lot of talent in Perth. There's a lot of great
yeah, there's a lot of talent in Perth actually.
not to big myself up, but there's a lot of great guys
Yeah, I
from
mean,
Wappa and
we were just talking just before. There's another composer that's actually rising in the game world.
mm,
Right now he's actually working with Nobuo
Uematsu.
Uematsu, who is actually known for his music in the Final Fantasy franchise,
Yep.
and he's doing a collaboration with Uematsu
Mm.
on another game on PSP, and yeah, we're pretty excited about it. Like
Oh yeah, he's written a fantastic soundtrack, and
Which
yeah.
game are you talking about?
It's an upcoming one. I think it's based on the Three Kingdoms or something like
yeah,
that.
that's right. Yeah, it's
Okay.
Like,
I don't know if it's sort of a bit like VC3 really. Like it
Um,
might be a little bit niche. I don't know if it'll actually come out in the West, but hopefully, I'd really love to play
yeah,
it and
there's a
listen to
Japanese
Kevin's music.
website right now on it, but yeah, a lot of booming
Is it
talent in Perth.
is it the traditional JRPG, or is it a strategy RPG that's also a JRPG at the same time?
I haven't read much on it because it's in Japanese and I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
really that great in
Yeah.
Japanese. Like it's a Japanese website, of course. But yeah, the music's actually spot on.
Hmm.
The actual composer in question has his own website with his own music and soundtrack and like albums and stuff like that. So yeah, but like I said, like a lot of talent right now in Perth, and Perth is actually a small area. And I was actually talking to Casey before, like, did you know this person? And he happened
Of
to know
course
this
I do.
person, so I was like, wow, because they're
Mm.
all like in Wappa, so technically somehow they're all connected or know one another in a sense.
Yeah, it's a pretty tight little music community.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot going on here. Like I studied jazz and stuff. Like I never did any classical piano or anything like that. And I mean, I talk about that on the promotional video. Is that I've sort of with the piano pieces, I I was influenced a bit by jazz stuff, but mainly by the piano collections, the FF piano collections. I don't know if you guys have listened to those
I
CDs.
do. I do. Actually,
Yeah,
that's how I came
like
across your video. I was basically looking up a lot of piano pieces with soundtrack remixes involving the
Hmm.
piano, and then I came across your promotional video for Valkyria Chronicles. And I'm like, oh, he made a soundtrack with piano of Valkyria Chronicles.
Mm.
I gotta take a look at this. And then I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I downloaded the entire collection through iTunes, and I told
Hmm.
JR about it, and he was impressed. And I said, you know what, this guy's pretty cool. We need to
Oh,
promote this
excellent.
guy.
yeah,
Mm.
and then we found out later on that you made a comment about us in your video not too later on saying join the JLF. I'm like, wow, we didn't even
Yep.
ask this
Yep.
guy, and we're like, wow, this is absolutely surprising.
Yeah,
Um
so it was wonderful to have your support. Seriously,
yeah, it's
huge
absolutely
morale
wonderful.
boost.
Oh, no worries. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I really want to see this game come out. I mean, I've arranged, three of the songs from the piano album are from the game, and with the other songs in the track on the album, I was sort of like, oh, these are my favorite songs from the game. I want to do this because it was when there was the part where actually probably shouldn't say that's a spoiler for VC1, but that very sad scene, let's say,
Yeah.
like the music from that, I'm like, oh, I want to arrange that because that's such a great moment. With the VC3 songs, I only had the music. I didn't have the memories of playing the game, which is a boost whenever I'm arranging piano. I tend to choose songs that are actually resonate with through playing the game, and so I'd really love to play the game and see the music and actually know the context of the songs
Yeah, especially
firsthand.
the storylines. I mean, I've played the game, I've imported it, but
Yeah, yeah.
in terms of like actual storyline, I have absolutely no idea what's going on, except the endings.
No,
That's
yeah.
about it. So, I mean, the
Mhm.
gameplay is great. I can confirm that much, but I can't really say anything about the story.
Yeah, that's the one thing that we want to know about. I mean, like, you can read the summaries on like Encyclopedia Europa, but it doesn't really like you really want to be in the action. You really want to be playing. You want to get to know the storyline. You want to get to know
Yeah,
the characters personally.
exactly. It's so
Mm,
character based. The series, especially number two, is that so much of the enjoyment of the games is those little moments, and the VC2 really picked up on that with having the individual character missions and stuff like that. And
yeah, especially
yeah,
Yeah.
like considering it was in an academic setting, like you got to
hmm
build a personal relationship with the character itself, not just see it develop on the battlefield and then have a profile update on like the book and stuff like that. Like in
yeah,
VC1, like it really got the characterization out for each individual character.
Also,
So
hmm
VC2 did a good job portraying the balance between school life and war. You know, how do you deal with personal issues while there's a war going on? And I think they
mm.
established a good connection between the two. Sometimes it gets a little bit unrealistic here and there, but
Sure,
overall,
yeah.
it's pretty good.
yeah,
Mm.
that's one of the things they had down right. So anyway, just a couple of updates before we start the actual conversation itself. Guys, just to let you know, the petition is back online. Yes, finally, like we
But
can sign
Woo!
it. There
But boo
is
because
no.
it didn't bring back all the signatures. We are slowly climbing past 2,000, and we actually already passed it. But we would have gotten like over 4,000 by now. But at least we're getting some kind of progress.
Yeah, guys. Like, unfortunately, we did not see this happening. We did not see a massive drop of over 1,000 signatures. But yes, the petition is signable again. I actually asked everybody who has previously signed the petition to actually go re-sign. I made a post about this on the GLF, and we found out that a lot of people actually had their signature deleted, which is very, very unfortunate. They only signed for the first time, and a lot of people have had their signatures deleted. So, guys, if you could just please try and re-sign. I know it's a bit of a hassle, but yeah, we want to get those numbers back up as well and start like kicking it
Well,
in. Like,
yeah, all it takes is like 30 seconds. That's about it. I mean, I guess it also has a better system in that you can't sign it twice, because I know that the old system, I've seen signatures signed twice. So at least this one is a bit more, trustworthy. So I guess it's not completely bad, but if you haven't signed it, or if you have signed it and it's been deleted, sign it now. It's much more reliable at this point.
yeah, just re-sign it and just try. Also, guys, if you remember in our last podcast, I mentioned a competition to help give you the opportunity to get a guest speaker. Unfortunately, there have been no submissions, absolutely zero for the
Where are the
art
art
competition.
guys? I can't find
Oh
it.
dear.
I did not
Yeah.
see any submissions. I didn't see anyone actually show any kind of work. So I'm kind of disappointed. But
Yeah.
at the same time, maybe it'll give you some more time to think of new material. So I would
Well,
like to see
guys,
something.
like I said, guys, we're extending the competition now. Like, obviously, we can't pick a random person on our Facebook page to become a guest speaker. Like, this is a competition, so we're gonna be extending it to about next week the following podcast. Like, if you haven't already or you want to submit work in, then please do. Like, we really want to see people like start creating artwork to help promote the GLF as well as have a good time. Like, there is an opportunity to become a guest speaker on the GLF, and it's great. You can have a conversation with me and Timius. It's awesome.
I've also
It's a
gotten.
privilege. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I've seen some complaints that it has to be an art competition, and I said, okay, well, it for the first one it's an art competition, but the next one could be something different. It could be something musical. It could be a video competition. We have to somehow generate some kind of activity. So that's why we're planning these things. So if you don't want to do an art competition, it's fine, but we can do a music competition later on. But we need some kind of submission. We need some people actually participating in and getting things submitted, so we can at least pick a winner. So it's an ongoing process, guys.
There could be
Yeah.
some people waiting for the fan fiction competition.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
great idea. I love that.
that's a great idea.
Mm.
I guess we could do that as well. Like, guys, do send in your comments. Like, if you want something different out of our competition, like something a bit more flexible, then yeah, we'll definitely I'll try our best to do it. Hey, give you what you want. Just you gotta give us the feedback. That's all. That's all it's about, basically.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's all the updates we have for this week anyway. So
Yeah. So just
yeah,
sign those signatures. If you haven't, just sign them again. I think we're about to pass. I think 1,800 on the membership on the
yes, we
GLO.
are. Yeah, we are about to pass. Actually, I think we're about. I think we're 17746
We're
right now.
we're
Or
it's 1754 right now, so we're about 46 away. So we're very close. So let's keep it up.
all right, let's keep it up, guys. All right. Yeah. Right now, like the subject we're talking about is actually Sakamoto's work. I mean, he's an awesome composer. He's done a
He
lot of
is.
music. Like, I'm a personal big fan of his as well. Like,
Hmm.
I'm sure Casey is as well.
Hmm.
Um, absolutely love his work. And yeah, we're just gonna talk a bit about it. Casey, when were you first introduced to Sakamoto's work exactly? Yeah.
Um, I it was actually FF Tactics Advance, which
Oh, nice.
is it's one of his he did a much lighter kind of like there's melodies are really bubbly and to go with the theme of that game, or it's a kind of more like child's storybook version of Ivalice. And that was the first I'd heard his music. and then but it only really latched onto it with FF12. Because obviously I got the soundtrack. I was really excited for the game to come out, so I got the soundtrack early and started listening to the tracks. And to be honest, at first I was like, "Oh, this is really different. I don't know if I like this," because I was used to Nobuo Uematsu's music, which he's kind of like the John Williams. Like you recognize it straight away, and he's so iconic.
Yep.
But then how it grows on you, I think Sakimoto's music is that he brings so much life to the Ivalice games, like together with the character designer Akihiko Yoshida and the political landscape that Matsuno makes, and the way that he creates his musical style around that world, and he makes it have so much more gravitas and excitement. And I think it is definitely a style that grows on you, but then eventually you can get really into what he does. Like well, the more you listen to it, the more you can sort of hear the same things you hear in Uematsu. Like you hear a line Uematsu does, and you're like, oh, that's so like him. And yeah, by the time I'd finished FF12, I was just a converted fan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of things with Yomatsu's work is that his music tends to create a lot of tension because there's always something going on in the scenes. So I
Hmm.
always think of it as very dramatic, very, very tension based, because there's always in a situation where an action is immediately required, and most FF games are into that kind of setting. So I think Yomatsu did a great job with it. With the FF12, I think Hitoshi Sakimoto did a very, very good job of
Mm.
almost copying his style, but adding his own flavor to it as well.
Yeah,
His
he's a master of texture rather than
abs-
themes, but he does have some great themes too.
yeah,
Yeah.
he does a very good job with like atmospheric type of music.
Mm, mm.
Yeah. Me personally as well. Like I actually played Tactics as well, Tactics Advanced, because I'm a big Final Fantasy fan,
Yep.
and I did actually notice his work, and then because I found out it wasn't Uematsu, and then when I played Final Fantasy 12, I was just like, I immediately bought the soundtrack because I absolutely love the music, and then
Mm.
found out Sakamoto was actually working on it. I was like, wow, this is actually very different because you can tell it's different from Uematsu's work, but
Yeah.
like Sakimoto's own flavor and own mix to the kind of music as well. It's very very like his music is very defined for him. Like if you listen to his
Yeah.
music nowadays, like especially with a lot of work, like he's also worked on Revenant Wings, the Final Fantasy 12
Yep. Yep.
port on DS, and recently I was just listening to one of his other soundtrack music that Eximius actually shared with me. It
Yeah,
was called for a game
it's called
Ash.
Archaic Sealed Heat. It's one of those strategy RPGs that actually only came out in Japan. It never got released outside of it. And I listened to the main theme of Archaic Sealed Heat, and it's very, very similar to Valkyria Chronicles theme. And there's a lot of
All right.
piano. There's a lot of violin. It had a militaristic type of tone to the music. It was very Valkyria Chronicles esque. And so I thought, you know what? I think his style is sort of in that kind of way. There's a lot of piano. There's a lot of violins. There's a lot of quick drum beats. It's very, very indicative of his work,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen it quite a lot in both Archaic Sealed Heat, in Final Fantasy Tactics, and in Valkyria Chronicles 1 and 2, and also pretty much 3.
But
Mm.
yeah,
He's definitely he's got like Uematsu. He's got his own voice. Like I mean,
Absolutely.
you as soon as you hear one of his songs, you go, oh, that's Sakimoto. But then he's shown, I think, with Valkyria Chronicles and with other projects he's done. Now the Base Escape, he's branched off into some anime projects and everything. Is that he can sort of bend his style in different ways. Like Valkyria Chronicles, he has more of a Western feel, like a typical film orchestra kind of sound, but mixed with his original sound. But then if you go back to his earlier work, and he's really into jazz fusion and stuff. Like it's a really broad like range that he draws from.
There's actually one particular theme in Valkyria Chronicles 3 that actually explains what you just described. There's a difference between the main theme in Valkyria Chronicles 3 and if you listen to Open Fire's, Imka's Open Fire theme when you
Yeah,
use her
yeah,
as a
yeah, yeah.
mechanic.
Yeah.
It's a very different tone and very different atmosphere. You can hear a lot of the
Mm.
jazz infusion with Open Fire.
Yeah,
mean,
that one jumped out to me immediately. The
Absolutely.
Bass Escape sent me the soundtrack, and the producer Sari Okamoto, she suggested a couple of tracks. Open Fire was one of them, and then I sort of listened to it, and I was like, oh yeah, I've got to do this. I've got to.
That was beautiful.
I just loved the Latin elements in that soundtrack, and so I was like, I have to do a Latin piano song, and this one is perfect for that.
I love the
yeah,
piano,
it's
the piano part in Open Fire. It was so dramatic. It was awesome.
yeah, it's
Mm.
very, very awesome. Like there was Exima said, there's it's like a contrast in Sakamoto's work, like how he's so flexible in his music, especially it's sort of a presentation of like his old music, his old style with his new stuff as well, which is very, very good. I mean,
Mm.
I've actually got the soundtrack for Valkyria Chronicles 1 and 3. I think 2 only came out as digital download, like
Yeah.
because I
Right.
can't find it as a hard copy. But yeah, got all the CDs. Absolutely love his work over. You see the progression from the music from number 1 and 2, like especially with number 2, to fit the sort of military school theme as well,
Yeah.
and like the music to create that happy mood between students as well. Like it kind of brought me
Mhm.
back to like the old like fuzzy style kind of music back in Tactics Advance, and I just thought,
Yeah. Right.
yeah, Sakamoto is back in his work as well. It's just like a very, very good reminder of his work and where he's been so far, and how like he's advanced in music so far. I think he's really a defining character. Personally, like he's
Yeah.
quite like he's someone I really, really admire in the music industry, especially when you got like big idols like Uematsu working there, who's like yeah,
Mhm.
just like one of the biggest idols in like game music, basically. And I was like,
Definitely.
wow, you can make your own name in that kind of area. I mean, even now, like looking into future composers working in the game industry, like specifically like when we were talking about that person that we actually knew, um like the music is so defining as well. Like I've just personally listened to some of the music right now, some of the new talent coming into the gaming industry,
Mhm.
and it's very different from like what's being played right now. But I think it's different in a very, very good sense as well. Like
Yeah.
it fits a lot of different styles of music right now.
I think
Especially yeah.
uh,
Well, go on.
we've got these giants of video game music. We got like Koji Kondo, Uematsu,
Moitoi
Sakimoto, who have
Sakuraba.
yes, yeah, and who've developed their own language, musical language, and they're so good at it. And then we've got these composers like Kevin Penkin who have been absorbing all of that and then using all of those different styles and bringing them all together. And so I think the next generation of, I guess, of composers is going to be even more exciting. Like um, and,
There's
Jeremy Soule as well. Like they all have their own stamp on whatever they write.
Yeah, these are guys that we know from Perth.
Mm, mm.
especially with all the types of fusion that's going on with music, it's going to be very, very interesting later on. So I can't wait to hear what's going to happen later in terms of composition for video game
Yeah,
music.
and it's
Yeah,
also really cool that that Kevin and me can work with uh, these idols of ours, even though there's the language barrier and the geographical barrier. I mean, we talk about that on the promotional video for Valkyria Chronicles. Is that it's kind of cool that there's, or especially between Bass Escape and Australia,
yeah.
like the Eminence Orchestra, there's always this collaboration going on.
Yeah, I mean, like with Kevin, he's actually been around like to thoroughly promote himself as a composer. I've heard he's like gone to the States as well and gone over to
Yep.
Sydney to hand over his music as well.
Oh yeah,
He's met a lot
right.
he's met a lot of composers that I didn't know about. Like
Yeah.
I see on his personal profile, he's having a drink with some of the people who did like I remember he had a photo with him having a beer with Hitoshi Sakimoto. I mean,
Yeah.
what I was like, what the heck is going on there? I mean, that was absolutely awesome. Like he knows a lot of people right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's
He's got
absolutely
photos with
booming
all.
right now in the music. Like he's finally cracked the shell. like the nut. And
It's only like
yeah, it's collaborating right now with some of the best artists
Actually,
in
I
the
have a
gaming
question.
industry.
What games did Kevin compose for? I actually don't know the name particularly.
Mostly he's composed for like he's only just starting now working on officially like composing games with Uematsu right now. He's on a project right now.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
like mostly all the time like the way he got noticed in the gaming world like was he went around like to the states where like Uematsu was performing concert and he just handed out CDs saying like this is some of my work, just please have a listen if you can. And that's basically how he started getting feedback about his music. And I think it's only this year that he started. Like we only know about
yeah,
this from
it's really
his
taking off.
um like his Facebook page that like yeah he's finally started a project. I think it was this March or April that he officially started working. And yeah, like we can't wait. I can't wait for the game to come out and just see the music basically. Like that's
Mm.
being produced from such a young artist, especially in Perth as well. Like it's a very big privilege for me to listen to this kind of music and
Yeah.
talk with the person. Actually, I didn't meet Kevin until let's see, I think it was either last year or this year at a friend's Hari Raya, which is like Muslim feast, and then got
Mhm.
to know a little about him. Started talking about music, and I told him I was a big video game music lover, and then he said, "Yeah, I actually know these kind of people." And I'm like, "Wow, we basically hit off with that kind of
Yeah.
topic, and then we're just talking about a lot of composers. We were talking about the Eminent Symphony Orchestra, very very awesome orchestra for game music and
Mm.
anime music, and then yeah, we just basically hit it off from there, and then it was absolutely awesome experience. But yeah, very very interesting and exciting to know that like young artists are actually coming from Perth who've actually are working right now or have worked with some of these iconic idols
Yeah.
in the game music world. And I mean that's absolutely crazy. Like especially with people like Sakamoto and Uematsu as well.
Hmm. Yeah, it's fantastic
But yeah,
that
yeah,
that
speaking of
working together.
Sakamoto's work, I just was reading up some of the other work he's done like outside of the gaming industry, and I was actually quite surprised like some of like the anime compositions and some of
Yep.
like the other works he's done for like other animated stuff, and
Well,
it
I
just
love
tells you he's been around. He's been around like
yeah, yeah.
that there is.
Just question. Which animes has he been doing? I don't actually know any of them in name, but which ones and how many of them?
There was Romeo and Juliet, which
Yeah.
was fantastic. I think that was one of the first ones he did. That was with Eminence.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, Eminence also performed the first original Valkyria Chronicles. Like if you read in the credits,
Hmm.
they helped perform the music as well. And I was actually really really surprised when I saw that collaboration because I didn't think Eminence was going to perform officially for video game music. I've only ever seen them in Sydney for their night in Fantasias, and especially when they came over to Perth for the first time, and I think it was in 2010. I still have my ticket for it actually posted up,
Oh yeah,
and yeah,
I think I went to that one as well.
yeah, very. It was a very, very good experience. Like, I definitely got really good seats for that, and absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And then when I found out they worked on the Valkyria Chronicles original soundtrack, I was absolutely flabbergasted, especially collaborating with Hitoshi Sakimoto.
Hmm.
Absolutely great stuff.
That concert was actually my first attempt to try and network with Sakimoto before I had met him on Twitter. I'd met Hiraki Yura,
Yeah,
who's the director and of Eminence and also a pretty big name in the video game biz. And I said, "Oh, well, look, I've done this arrangement of Bajurba," and he was a bit reticent because I think there's probably a lot of people who try and contact big people through him and yeah, it was a good thing that Twitter got me through that. Because yeah, I'm just not as like Kevin. I'm not as good at that sort of networking thing. And I mean, Kevin's flown to other countries to meet people. Um,
yeah. He
it's
has the
funny.
money. He has the money to do so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't think actually I was really dismissive of Twitter before all of this happened, and then overnight I was like, this is the best thing ever invented, because it basically got me my dream job overnight.
Wow, that's absolutely crazy. Thank God for Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, I actually find it like when I started using Twitter for the chill, just like it was a convenient mode of
Promotion.
yeah, promotion, especially
Mm.
with you can find a lot of people on here. Like we found Sega's PR,
Yeah.
Aaron Weber, like also known as Ruby Eclipse. Like he we follow him and we also follow Sega as well. And then the people that started joining us, that's how I found out information that you, Casey, were actually in Perth. I didn't actually know
Hmm.
about that until I read on Twitter. I was like, wow, small world.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
Yeah, we also get
yeah,
like new recruits from Twitter as well, so it's a good place to
yeah, it's a
network
good
your
place.
cause or any kind of if you want to promote something. It's also a nice place to do it. It's also pretty good if you link your Twitter to your Facebook account. They have now two traffics to see your work, so it's a good thing.
Yeah,
Speaking
absolutely.
of the online community, I wanted to mention the talk a bit about maybe the YouTube music community in general, like the people who sort of like what I've been doing, do their video game arrangements online. There's just it's amazing how many talented people are out there. I actually with the promotional video for Valkyria Chronicles, I that was actually my idea, as I wanted to put a video together to talk about the project, and then I had a section in that video thanking all of the YouTube video game arrangers who pretty much most of my subscribers also create video game music, and I was felt like I was one of them and lucky enough to go from YouTube music into an official thing. And then I sent that video to Bass Escape, and they said, "Oh, okay, let's do like an official version and have it professionally edited." And the thing about the YouTube community couldn't stay in, but I just wanted to give them a shout out because when I first started arranging Sakimoto, it was all of these guys saying, "Oh, that's great, you should keep it up," and actually
It's
let me know that it was a viable thing.
it's wonderful to have a community that you can relate to, because that way you can have
Mm,
feedback and improve your own work. It's one of the best ways to do it is on YouTube. It's actually a pretty good starting
yeah.
point, I'd say.
It is. It's great. Because you so quickly you meet other people who, like hundreds of other people who do the same thing you do or have similar interests than you do that you have, and they're just the perfect people to give you feedback because they're doing exactly what you're doing, and you can just help each other.
I
Yeah,
look.
I mean, in the gaming community, especially in terms of music, I think a lot of people are quite supportive of like different types of music and just trying to get like
Mm,
help other people get off from the ground. Like I've listened to a lot of gaming music on YouTube, especially. It's one of the best tools I find for new types of music, especially like different compositions or just like basically different themes, I guess, for music in the gaming genre. Like
hmm
recently I was just looking around for different types of music to fit a particular theme, and I found a lot of different types of artists composing different types of music as well, and like the themes were so different but so powerful as well,
Yeah.
especially for its type of theme. Like particularly this one, I especially like this theme. It's don't know the person who composed it. It's by a guy called Soundwave Sound, and his theme called "The Call for Heroes" is the lyrics and the music for it really fit the title that he was going for, and I absolutely
Yeah.
love the music. And then only recently since the new Elder Scroll came out, like
Skyrim.
Skyrim, yeah I was
Everyone's
actually
talking about that game.
yeah, everyone's talking about that game. I just as soon as the game came out, I instantly ordered the soundtrack for it. It
Yeah.
was absolutely strong music from a
Yeah. I
different
think
type
it's
of artist.
the best Jeremy Soul's done with the series yet.
Yeah, Jeremy Soul's like absolute like
It's
legend.
it's
Hey,
it's very
Hmm.
dramatic, especially the main theme. You can sense there's a lot of power and tension between the words in the chorus. You know that there's
Mm.
a sense of urgency in that kind of song, which I love.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially like it like fits well like when you're especially like when you're fighting dragons. It brings that tension in. Some people have said though that killing dragons. they like listening to the music, but before the good part of the song gets there, like the dragon's already dead. So I was like, wow, okay,
So
like
then just run around and wait till that song comes on, then kill the dragon.
Hide under a rock and
yeah,
listen to the
Exactly.
dodge the flames and listen to the tunes.
yeah. I haven't had a personal chance like I've tried out Skyrim. I haven't had a chance to get the game because I just actually bought Assassin's Creed Revelations last night and
Oh, yes.
absolutely love the music that's coming out of it. Especially it fits the storyline well, especially in your new area of Istanbul or Constantinople as it was known at the time. I think
Hmm.
still known. And yeah, just absolutely loving the music that's just coming out from it, and it just fits well. And it just reminds you how much talent is in music world and how much it's booming right now. It's a popular area, especially
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of people like you see a lot of talent on YouTube, and
OC
also
remix.
yeah, a lot of remixes and stuff like
Hmm.
that, and yeah, just getting to listen. I think it's a big privilege just getting, especially to be in this generation right now to have the chance to listen to this kind of music and just see the progression of right now
Mm.
of where music in the gaming industry is has been. It's where it started from, where it's progressing right now, and what's could possibly happen
And
in
I,
the future.
yeah, I hope that this trend of connecting composers, I mean, it's kind of happening more with the game industry, but connecting composers with their fans and musical fans, and letting them work together. Because I mean, there's other YouTubers I know that could do what I did, and they would, be brilliant at it. Like there's other pianists, there's a violinist, there's a guy who plays the cello and has like a loop pedal called his channel's called Friedman, and he's done like these Secret of Mana remixes where he just plays over himself. He plays like percussion on the cello, and it's just like I mean the dedication that you see in these videos, like professional musicians who just do it for fun. And it seems like there should be more situations like me where these people are reached out to through YouTube or through OC Remix. I mean, I know OC Remix does fan arrange albums and stuff like for Street Fighter and Mega Man and whatever. Um, but yeah, I mean, I do hope this becomes a trend where more people are scouted from these online sources because there's just so much great stuff out there.
Branching from what you guys said, I think when it comes to music, and particularly if you want to get started in the music composing industry, I think video games is where it's at because when you listen to
Hmm.
video games and listen to the different kinds of themes that go on within just one video game, you have all sorts of emotions. You have tension, you have anger, you have love, you have lust, you have hate. All these emotions that are present within just one game require a type of theme for each one. So if you
Yeah.
compose for a video game, it really goes to show your range of talent for doing just that one title. So I think it's a really good way to get
It,
yourself
it would
noticed.
really, yeah, test you as a composer.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, I think there was an official site where people can upload like it was for music, like video game music, where people are uploading different types of music for different types of game, like remixes they've done. I think it was I don't know what it was like. It was mentioned in extra credits. That's where they got their themes as well. I'm trying to remember what it was, but I think when I find out, I'll just link it down below in the description. But anyway, it's a great site for people to upload their type of music. You can search it up for different types of themes for anime and game music as well, and
Mm.
just seeing the talent that's coming out from that, especially I was just listening to some when I watch extra credits. I often listen to the ending theme song and just how they fit with the sort of theme or the title of the video itself, and
Hmm.
just listen to the various types of music that's coming out from it. Especially when they were talking about
Mm.
game compulsion. There was a song composed by Jeffrey Tosser. It's called When the Smoke Clears, and absolutely loved the guitar um music. Apparently it came
Yeah.
from Xenogears as well, so I was actually surprised about that. So absolutely love the music that's coming out from it, and I was like, wow, I just got to download this music, and then found it on the website itself, and I just found this whole bunch of talent just booming right now in
Mm.
like about the video game and anime music areas, and I was just like, wow, this is a great site. Absolutely love it. gotta go searching for one whole day. Went through like searching through some of my favorite games and seeing what type of music was being created. And I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent coming out. I was absolutely loving it. So yeah.
And it's I think the fact that there's so much of this music is also from our childhood, considering the average age of gamers is it makes it all that the more potent, all the more kind of special to us, because it's like when you hear like at a cool arrangement of like an old Mario or Zelda song, um, yeah, like it's just such a great feeling to kind of and when I'm writing as well, I'm always choosing things that I'm like, oh, I want to arrange this song because like I did an arrangement of the Guardia Millennial theme from Chrono Trigger um
Okay.
uh on my channel, and it's like yeah, it just feels so good to kind of revisit those. Like I mean, some of these games that I wouldn't actually like play again, Chrono Trigger I would, but then like to go back to the music now and then, and arranging for piano is just a really fun way to do that.
Yeah, I
Speaking of
mean like yeah. Or
yeah,
Eximus, you go.
I was gonna say. I was gonna say. Speaking of Zelda, of the upcoming Skyward Sword coming out, I heard that the entire composition of the music is completely orchestrated, and it's really, really good. Especially when I've heard the main theme. I don't know if you know this, but the main theme of Zelda Skyward Sword is actually Zelda's lullaby backwards, which is
Yeah,
pretty
yeah, I
cool.
saw that. Yeah.
It was amazing when I heard that. I was like, wow, that is awesome. And I thought, you know what? I hope they release a soundtrack for this because this is something I'd love to listen to over and over again.
I read this morning that they're already planning to release a piano arrange album of Skyward Sword.
Oh, I'm sold then. That's awesome.
Instant buy, instant buy. I don't know.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm definitely like I was very surprised when the theme of Skyward Sword came out because I'm like this sounds familiar, and then I found out later on that it was Zelda's Lullaby played backwards. I'm like, you clever people, you like very very smart idea. And I was actually talking to some friends in the US who actually had the opportunity to go to the live orchestra for the 25th anniversary of Legend of Zelda.
Oh yeah.
Very very jealous of these type of people. Like they get the
Yeah.
opportunity. Like I didn't have the money at the time, and it was unfortunately exam times for me. But like they were talking with them and just seeing the talent that's coming out right now. Like for me personally, like being a piano player as myself, but I'm also an ocarina player as well. Like it's
Oh,
one of my
cool.
yeah, it's one of my mains, and I found out some like these people who play ocarina, like, play a lot of Legend of Zelda music, actually turned up for the 25th anniversary as well. Wow, these iconic idols in such an area are there as well. Like there was a guy called Songbird, and also a guy called Doc Jazz 4 who are known for their ocarina music.
Oh, I've seen
As,
Doc Jazz. Yeah.
Doc Jazz is absolutely brilliant. Like I've seen some of his composition for music, for anime music, like there was, I think he did the theme for Princess Monaco with orchestra background where he did the main theme just on bass ocarina.
Wow.
Absolutely loved that. Tried to play it myself. Still trying to perfect the music,
Mhm.
and yeah, absolutely loved just what's coming out from the gaming music industry right now, and just like being talking about it with some of my friends at the US about that concert. They said like it was absolutely wonderful experience here. Something they'll never forget. And although I couldn't be there at the time, like I got a chance to see some of the music that was coming out from it. Like especially if anybody has a Nintendo 3DS right now with Nintendo Channel, they have a video coming out for the 20. Like they have it out now for the 25th anniversary, where like a piece, like a full-fledged piece, played by orchestra for Legend of Zelda is actually viewed on the 3DS. You can also view it in 3D as well if you want.
Cool.
But listening to that music was absolutely great. Like especially how to mix with some of the old music with the new Legend of Zelda music, but sticking to the same theme as well. Like a lot of like if you look right now, like a lot of orchestras have performed the theme for Legend of Zelda over time, but
Mhm.
there's always they always put their own twist and own spin to the type of music that, like especially with Legend of Zelda, the theme itself, they try to make it different. And this was how do you say it, had its it started off with the main theme, went to a sort of subtle music, like it was like very peaceful, and then it went straight back to the theme itself and started rising up, and then
That's cool.
created that suspension at the end, and then just ended the music Yeah, on the same note as the Legend of Zelda, and you got the same feeling out of it. I was like, that was absolutely brilliant. I mean, if they were composing this type of music at the 25th anniversary concert of Legend of
Yeah.
Zelda, I mean, I'd absolutely really love to be there. Hey, it's just getting that experience from like a 3DS video. I mean, that was absolutely wonderful for me.
Hmm.
So yeah,
You said it was on the 3DS channel, on the Wii,
yeah,
on the
Nintendo
Nintendo
channel.
channel. Can you also? Is it also available on the Nintendo Wii channel as well?
I think it might be actually like on the Nintendo Wii channel. Like if there's a Nintendo channel for Wii, then it definitely
Yeah,
should be up there.
there should be one.
Guys with Wii, just like go check it out if you're a Legend of Zelda fan, or even if you're not a Legend of Zelda fan, if you love game music, Legend of Zelda is where it's at. Hey, and this orchestra piece was absolutely wonderful. I mean, it's a really, really good experience. I think the way they portrayed the video as well, it wasn't just like they were panning the camera around, um for like to highlight different players of the music, like different
Hmm.
artists, and then like you got back to the main composer as well, like the combatant, and then it was just absolutely great. The video itself and the music being played, just absolutely great. It just highlighted certain sections of like the music being played, like the violins, the percussion as well, and yeah, it just really added its own flavor to the video. Absolutely loved it. So guys, go check it out. Absolutely great.
Hmm. I'm actually this is a little podcast exclusive for you. I'm my next piano arrangement is going to be the Lon Lon Ranch theme.
Oh
Long Long
wow,
Ranch.
that's
Yeah,
Wow.
cool.
I really love in what's it called, Nameless Heroes on the VC piano pieces. It has that kind of what would you call it? It's almost a little bit like a country ballad, more of a jazz ballad kind of sound, and it's going to be kind of like that. I mean, Lon Lon Ranch is obviously got kind of a country song kind of theme to it. So yeah, that's what I'm working on now. I'm trying to
Nice.
get back into doing regular uploads on my YouTube channel because sometimes it can be like a year between uploads. Well, not
Wow,
hasn't
really?
been that bad. Yeah, the first video I made, Bejerba, I wrote that and then didn't do anything for a year, um, and then finally got back into it. Because the other thing that's good about channel on the channel on YouTube is it's something to keep up your arranging skill. Oh God, I'm really tired. My brain isn't. Uh,
We'll give
let
you
me.
time.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Sure, I'm in the same boat as well.
Yeah.
Guys, it's Perth. It's a relaxed area. We don't usually wake up this early in the morning.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
haven't you had your coffee yet?
Yes, I should get one after this podcast.
It's good just to like, because if I don't have something like the piano pieces to work on, then I don't really have any pressure to keep arranging for piano. So it's good to have this channel where I know that I can always work on something, upload it, and then get some nice feedback, and just yeah, it's a good thing to keep up just for me as a writer.
Especially if you have all the subscribers. Although I'm kind of curious, what
Mm.
did you think of the Crow of Disaster theme for Valkyria Chronicles 3?
Which one? Oh, hang
Crow
on.
of Disaster. It's the battle theme that comes on when Calamity Raven's turn comes on. You ever heard of it?
Oh,
Something like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
okay.
I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Like
I
the
I don't
clam.
know any of the songs by their actual name. 'Cause they sent me
Ah.
the VC3 soundtrack, but all in the Japanese names.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
I,
actually a couple of different battle themes. There's one called
Mm.
"The Looming Sounds of Military Boots," which is pretty good. It actually almost sounds like a horror type of music that you didn't listen to.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because as soon as you listen to it, it like immediately scares the heck out of you. Because there's this huge violin introduction, like almost
Yeah.
striking. And then there's Crow of Disaster, which sounds like a music of an evil organization, which is really really dramatic. So if you heard of it, that's all.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love
I
like this. Just going back. I absolutely listened to the music coming out of Valkyria Chronicles 3. Got the soundtrack. Got a friend to help me do the English like Japan translation from Japanese to English or what the name was gonna be
Mhm.
like, and then yeah just like the music that's coming out from it and the title is absolutely great. It fits a lot of certain themes, especially with the battle. It fits the characterization very well. And some of my favorite pieces actually from the music are actually like some of the ending songs where some artists did like guitar composition for some of the main themes. Like one of it was for Valkyria Chronicles 2, one for the main theme for Valkyria Chronicles 1, and it was just like just guitar music
Yeah, those
between
are fantastic. Yeah.
two people, and I mean that was absolutely great. I absolutely love those pieces as well. And then speaking of guitar music, if anybody knows me, I'm a big fan of like in terms of music, I'm all around the place. And recently, right now, one of my favorite games called Bastion. It's heavily based on country music as well,
Okay.
especially awesome narration, and it's actually some of the best some of the best music and some fresh music that I've seen in like the gaming industry so far. I mean, combined with an awesome narrative of how um like the narrative for the game is absolutely spot on. It's from a
Yeah.
third person's perspective, really really good. It keeps you in tune. It's in fresh, and the music that's coming out to fit the theme of the music as well, especially when it's people start singing like for some of the main characters in the game, especially the ending song. I mean, it was absolutely powerful, great
Mm.
stuff, and really really fresh, especially for like country music itself. I mean, really really drawed me in. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
It's funny, like country music isn't something I go out of my way to listen to, but there are certain songs like there's some country songs in the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack as well that I just love listening to, but it's because I've got the planet in the show that they go on a desert planet or something, and I've got all that in my head, and I think I enjoy a lot of genres I would never listen to because I've got the connection to the game or to the anime or something. And I think that's a big part of why this fandom, like the music game fandom, is so big, is because we're sharing the memory of what the music was played at. Like I think that is the best thing about video game music, is that it brings a lot of genres together around the game, and you get into stuff you never would listen to otherwise.
Yeah, that is very very true.
Especially in
Like,
Japanese games, like where there's that tradition of there's got to be, the ice cavern level is kind of strange, and then the desert level might be a bit Spanish, like Gerudo Valley or something like that.
yeah,
And
love
that's
that
and
theme,
that's
love that theme.
encouraged, is that the composers will go all over the place and kind of try their hand at everything, and I think that's why they become so iconic, is because they go out of their way to find and add all of these different genres to their musical language. You can hear that when you listen to a Uematsu soundtrack or a Koji Kondo soundtrack, is that they just, there's nowhere they won't go.
Yeah, Koji Kondo, love his Legend of Zelda compositions, absolutely
Mm.
great. Hey,
Hmm.
and yeah, like one of his for me one of his my favorite musics composed by Koji Kondo was the ending credits music for Wind Waker. I mean, that combined a lot of
Oh
themes and
yeah,
Legend
it
of Zelda together, different
Yep.
instruments together, and it just really flowed well with the whole Legend of Zelda theme, especially in Wind Waker itself. I mean, one of the best collaborations of music I've seen work together in really one awesome piece. Hey, I think it was 6 minutes long, but 6 minutes of good music. Hey, absolutely great,
I,
especially for a
I
Legend
have
of Zelda title.
I have to bring this up, or else I'm gonna be called blasphemy for not bringing it up. But the new release for the Uncharted series. What do you guys think of the composer Greg Edmondson, who did the music for Uncharted 3?
Spot on is his music,
Yeah, yeah.
I
absolutely spot on.
I think his music is really good in terms of when you listen to his music, his themes of music has a sense of discovery, adventure, and mystery. When you listen to them,
Mm.
they have this ideal of going into the unknown and finding out new things about the world, and that's what's one thing I get out of his music. It's discovery, which is really really
And I
good.
thought, yeah, I thought there was a couple of moments in the game where um, there's like a gunfight or something, but the music is actually really heroic, sometimes a bit melancholic sounding. Like it doesn't automatically go into, oh, battle theme, let's get pumped up. It's like
Yeah,
um, it's almost like it's saying, this is a pity that we're visiting all these beautiful places, and every beautiful temple or whatever we're going to is going to be destroyed by RPGs and gunfights and stuff. And yeah, it's a brilliant soundtrack, I thought.
It also does a good job, like you said, for the tension and tones during gunfights. I
Yeah.
think it would go into specific types of gunfight themes. If you were, let's say, low on health, or if you were in like the middle of like a huge what is it called? An ambush. It would go into
Yep.
that kind of theme, especially if you were in danger. Especially when there's a lot of gunfighting going around, it would become very, very dramatic. So I think
Yeah.
the direction of the game with the music was flawless in that regard.
Yeah, seamless. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was I've listened to some of the music coming out from Uncharted, especially with number 3 right now, and really fits the theme of exploration as well. I mean, apparently storyline wise,
Oh, it's wonderful. I
going
love the
into this
storyline.
fight, like the fight between who's the main antagonist in
In
Uncharted
Uncharted
3?
3, it's Catherine
Yeah,
Marlowe.
yeah. Aren't they
Catherine
fighting
Marlowe.
over the ring and the treasure?
Hmm.
That can be unlocked with the ring. And I think that constant struggle as well as to also I heard Drake delves deeper into why like he explores his cabins,
Yeah,
why he makes these adventures,
yeah.
especially with the
Yeah.
new ally,
That's
like
actually a spoiler.
characterization.
You got to be
Huh?
careful. Don't make that into a spoiler. But it does go into his history with Victor Sullivan, and how he got into the treasure looting business. And it's actually a very good characterization. In Uncharted 3, there was a lot more, much more delving into Drake's character and how he met up with Sullivan, how they got acquainted, and why he does what he does. Why do they have such a strong relationship with each other? And the music also reflects that really, really well, especially during the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely love
I
that
think
game.
it's also an amazing feat that sorry that the music is such a cinematic game, obviously, and to be
Yeah,
able to do that, to get that sound in the soundtrack as well, when in most games you have a completely unpredictable length of any scene because the player's controlling how long that scene goes for, but the music never sounds like it's being recycled or anything. It always sounds natural in the game.
absolutely. It sounds like it's a theme that belongs in the situation. Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful job. Greg Edmonson is actually one of my new favorites now, for a Western composer.
Speaking of blasphemy, if I don't bring this game up, my
Speaking of
friend will
blasphemy.
absolutely shoot me because like a lot of my friends were a fan of Harry Greggs Williams, especially his music in the Metal Gear Solid series.
Oh, of course.
Like, guys, I will link a video down below. It's basically from extra credits. It details a video. It's all about video game music. Its progression right now. Some of the top artists that we speak about, like especially with Harry Greggs Williams. Absolutely love his theme for Metal Gear Solid. I think it was 2 as well. Like it really, really created strong for you, especially for number 3. And yeah, as a big lover of the Metal Gear Solid series. I love stealth. I absolutely love the theme of the music that he composes, especially when you've got iconic characters like Solid Snake, Raiden as well, and
Hmm.
Big Boss. It fits that patriotic kind of theme, especially military. Um, Williams really brings it out well, especially like the theme types of music. I'll link it down in the description below, guys. But absolutely powerful stuff here, and like from an Australian perspective, like we don't really have much of a military standing. Well, I don't believe so in Australia.
Or
But yeah, but kind of
a
like
military culture, like.
yeah, we don't have much of a military culture. But
Let's not get into
yeah,
that.
but
Yeah,
like
yeah, it's going to get heavy.
thinking of the music, listening to that kind of music, I was just talking with some of my friends from Australia. And they're like, when we listen to that kind of music, we just feel like saluting for some reason. We just feel like doing so for some reason. And I think like if music can create that kind of feeling from you, especially like video game music, I mean it's absolutely powerful stuff. And so yeah, giving you a shout out to Harry Greggs Williams, you do awesome stuff. Hey, absolutely
Does,
love you.
There's actually another composer I want to cover. You guys know of the game Bayonetta, right?
Yeah, Bayonetta.
Yeah. The composer Hiroshi Yamaguchi. He did a fantastic job with Bayonetta, especially with the boss battles between the five cardinal virtues. It was perfect. It was so dramatic. The chorus was one of the best I've ever heard. Especially if you listen to the chorus for Sapientia, who is the cardinal virtue of prudence.
Yeah,
And there's also Temperantia. He's also one of the bosses. He's the wind boss in that game,
yeah.
and the music for that one, it sounds like an extraordinary amount of tension and an incredibly epic battle taking place. It's beautiful, and
I think the
he also delved into techno music a little bit. He got into a little bit of pop culture as well. Like when you listen to the normal battle theme for Bayonetta, he also did basic pop culture kind of music, which delved into J-pop. He also his pop culture music in the game also was very indicative of piano, very fast piano playing, which I loved.
Okay.
yeah. All I can say is like in the video game, music industry. Yep, I'm a bit off right now, kind of tired. But all I can say is we've got a wide variety of music in this genre that people can just get into, just listen, hey, and sort of discover new tastes, I guess. Yeah, especially
Yeah.
with such talent booming right now. Everyone's taking a little bit of something. They're exploring more of like different genres of music, and I don't think I think video game music is like one of the best genres that does that. Hey, because you got a lot of people who are willing to explore different types of music to get out of their comfort zone and like rediscover the genre and trying to incorporate it so well into the type of music they're trying to create. And I think a lot of composers do it really well. Like you don't get that now like in just the basic music world where people are trying to like you do have collaborations between individuals from different genres of music, but a lot of people stick to what they know because that's what they're best at. Whether composers in video game music or composers in general have more flexibility to explore different themes of music as well, like and different types of music
Yeah.
to create that certain types of
Yeah.
themes. So I think it's absolutely a wonderful, like wonderful,
A wonderful thing.
yeah, wonderful thing.
Hmm.
Well, the thing is, I think the charm that video game music has is that video game music is a genre that encompasses many other genres. So I think
Mm.
it does a great job in diversifying the kind of music you can listen to in just one kind of soundtrack, and it's been proven time and time again if you listen to all of them. So it's a great gateway to listening to other stuff as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely a genre where um it's very aware of genre conventions. I mean, it's obviously it's a medium that came after film and TV, and it takes a lot of ideas from film and TV. Going back to Uncharted as well, like it's almost like an action movie set. Some of the levels in it, like you
Absolutely.
can do, yeah, you can. I mean, if you understand action movies, then you can naturally think, oh well, if I hang on this ledge, I could pull the guard off the ledge, and
Yeah.
or I could shoot a gas tank, and all of those ideas sort of come from movies. And then that's the same thing with video games. Is like I was saying before, if there's a desert level, then we kind of expect, okay, we're going to hear like some western, like a western theme, or we're going to hear like a Spanish guitar theme. Um, it's
For a
kind of
desert.
yeah, yeah, or
yeah, you can, like
Okay.
it's
I
very
was
comfortable in
I,
working within those conventions and yeah, introducing people to new things.
I was thinking more of Arabic music when I hear desert, because
yeah,
usually,
well,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you hear a lot of stuff going around here, well, it really depends. I guess it's different. Like when you hear desert music coming from Legend of Zelda, and
Yeah, that's
like
what I was
when
thinking.
you hear music coming from like a game like Prince of Persia as well, that
Mm.
involves a lot of desert and stuff, like tranquility, like nature itself. Like especially with the latest Prince of Persia game, like it's all about roaming and like the look of the environment and the feel of it as well. Like you see the music coming out from it, it's absolutely great. Hey, and like it allows a lot of room for exploration, especially like you got Spanish guitar coming in for this, but you also got other stuff like Arabic music coming as well, like that uses the cello, the violin to create create that kind of music for a desert, which is something I never heard of before until like I heard like the Prince of Persia series and stuff
There's
like
also
that.
the
Yeah.
use of a sitar, the tabla, a lot of wind instruments like the flutes, also prevalent in Arabic music.
Well, yeah, like it's a wide genre of exploration now. Like if you look at it, like a lot of like the instruments coming into it, some things you never expect. I mean, you learn something new every like learn something new about music, especially game music when you listen
Mm.
to it and you look at what's being utilized, how it's being played. Like it's very interesting to see and explore what's
Well,
being
it's
used
it's a
and
genre.
yeah.
It's a field that is kind of still establishing its own traditions. Like in film, there's the tradition of when something scary happens, there's the the stab of music. So things that are almost cliches, or like when the bad guy comes in, we play the bad guy music. And video games kind of has less of it's less strict about that. Like you can have a battle theme that is, I mean, we look at maybe FF10, you've got that Otherworld song with the final boss battle. It's like this,
Heavy rock
metal
music.
rock
Yeah.
number. Yeah, and in the same game, you've had like the ending theme is like a nice little orchestral J-pop ballad. There's no rules. There's no like particular audience that it's like, okay, they're only gonna like this music.
Right there.
They
Yeah, I
But
was
it
gonna
Yeah,
fits
say.
in
like
so well. Funny enough, like even though we've got all these different types of music, like especially like for games like Final Fantasy, where you got these different themes, and some themes you wouldn't expect in a movie like to be a battle theme, but it fits in so well. And when you listen
yeah.
to it
Well,
overall,
yeah,
like it's
exactly. Like
absolutely great.
like
Like
Masashi Hamauzu is, I mean, if you compare like a Hamauzu battle theme with a Sakimoto battle theme, there's quite a big difference between those, but they both still generate the same amount of emotion. Like maybe Sakimoto's will be darker and more, strident, and then Hamauzu will be sort of more ethereal, but they both work just as effectively.
yeah, I mean that's absolutely great. Well, overall, I can say I like video game music in general, absolutely awesome. If you guys
Yes,
haven't like,
agreed.
you just got to appreciate it, I guess. Like,
Hmm.
and if you haven't already, like I guess like we'll link a lot of like the artists that we're talking about. We're gonna be doing a lot of linking in the description for this,
Yeah.
especially like with all the artists we've mentioned, like all the types of music and all like the rising stars. I guess like we'll obviously list some of the people that we talked about as well, guys. But yeah, definitely do check it out, guys, and like yeah, be
Hmm.
more elevated in the genre of game music. Hey, like learn to appreciate it and love it if you haven't already.
It's a great
But
way to
yeah.
get into music in general because there's so many themes you can hear in just one game's soundtrack. It's wonderful.
Absolutely. And I think we're running out of time actually. We're about to hit 1 hour and 20, which is usually
Okay.
what we're going for. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this podcast. And before we end, Casey, is there anything you'd like to say to the members of the GLF? Like just like this is your own personal time, just to say whatever you want.
Okay. Well, keep on fighting, guys. Sign the petition. Uh, Join in with the community projects with making art and everything. And um, I think I mean, I got a lot of faith in this movement. I think I was actually being meaning to say, I thought that the way you guys turned around that sort of that blow we had of, it's not going to be released on the PSP, and then so much negative press was around that, like, oh, people were just giving up, and then you came in right with that book with the signatures, and you kind
Ah,
of
yeah.
leapt on that bad publicity and promoted yourself through that. I thought that was a master stroke, so kudos to you guys for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I definitely think that we're going to see this game at some point, so we just got to keep fighting.
And we love to have you on. And again, thanks for all your support.
Thank
We
you.
really appreciate it.
Yeah,
No
absolutely,
worries.
definitely. Especially someone like you who's done work with people for the franchise as well. It's absolutely awesome. And someone in Australia as well, other than me posting letters, possibly to Seagull of America. But yeah, absolutely great. So guys, like Casey said, just keep supporting us. Don't give up hope. We've had our blows and stuff like that, our negativity, but we've risen from the ashes to get back to where we at. We've got official support from like Sega's PR telling us don't give up, guys, and Yeah, be prepared. We've got our main mission coming up. I know you guys are like recuperating from your last battle with Iron Veil. We just sent out a bombardment of letters to Sega of America. I hope you guys at Sega of America appreciate what we're trying to do. And yeah, we'll be targeting like Sega of Japan next. We know they're a big player right now, guys. So be prepared. And yeah, get working on those art for the competition. We'd love to have a guest speaker on here. Like if you guys want an opportunity, we'd love to have a speak with someone from the community as well, and like talk about stuff like as a gamer as well, but also about Valkyria Chronicles. And yeah, guys, just be active. Like help promote the group. Hey, like we really want to see this game, and I think we will see it, guys. But for now, we got a long road ahead of us, guys. So, but don't give up. We've made a lot of progress, especially since we started not so long ago, about 5 months ago. We've already got the support of Sega of America. I mean, that's absolutely crazy. So
it only goes uphill from here. It's only uphill from here, guys. It's just a matter of working hard and showing Sega that we have a fan base that is dedicated towards this series and that we will fight for this game.
And most of all, stay supportive, guys. Don't we've always stated this before, like stay very supportive. We want to build this relationship with Sega. And I think Sega. Well, the pronunciation
no, I'm just sorry.
It's different, I guess, like the American pronunciation, especially like when I was doing the videos.
I wasn't trying to correct you. I was trying. It's kind of blacked out over there at the middle. I don't know. I think the microphone.
Oh, okay. Probably just the microphone thingy.
Probably was
coming out all right now, right? Like it's all good.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine now.
Alright, cool. I thought it was just like correcting me on pronunciation because you were doing that a lot.
No, I don't mean to do it on purpose. I don't mean it to be rude.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Misunderstanding. But anyway, guys, stay supportive of Sega. Show them like your best. Hey, not your worst. We don't want negative energies coming up, and we really love the way you guys are supporting the way we are doing things, even though we're getting you get the occasional flaming and like negativity from other groups. Like we love the way we're doing stuff, and we love you for supporting the way we are doing things right now. So guys, just keep doing it. Hey, and yeah, this is JR right here with Eximius.
Hey guys, it's me, and thanks for listening. And Casey.
And yeah.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. Seriously, it was an honor.
And yeah, a big honor for us and a privilege to get to speak with you. And yeah, guys, I guess that's it. See you later.
One final note: buy Valkyria Chronicles Piano Pieces. Go on it. I'll put a link in the description. Go buy it. It's good stuff.
It's the first link in the description. You have no reason not to buy it, guys. It's very good music. It's on piano.
All right, guys. We will see you next. I think we will see you in like 2 weeks. All right. Take care, guys.
Yeah, 2 weeks time. Take care, guys.
Bye. Goodbye.